Hello, Miss Katie. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Ironically, I am actually finishing up the notes from a meeting last week we had about bicycle things. So, very timely.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Is anyone going to the super session tonight?
I
I
don't
know
know.
Emmett is going.
Jason, what about you? You were there last year.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I'm going to the super session.
Cool.
It's super. Yeah.
Oh.
What time does it start? Is it 5? Do you know? Anybody know?
It technically starts at 4, but the actual dinner is not until 7. So it's like 3 hours of networking from what I've heard.
That's a lot of
Okay.
networking.
That is a lot.
Yeah. I'll probably try to get there by like 6 or so.
Maybe I'll just corral everybody. Oh, it's starting. It's starting right now. They're like, oh, okay. Have everybody sit down before. I think last year they had a big problem. Everybody's still talking while they're trying to feed and talk at the same time. I think no lessons learned. Just we'll see what happens. Maybe it's earlier.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, George. How are you?
Living the dream. Ellen, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right? Whole day. Is that Jason Jackman over there? He's
Hey,
hiding
George.
behind it. Is that a Georgia Bulldog hat you're wearing?
No. No, it's a Rays hat, and the game started right now, but I'm here. I'm not worried about the Rays game. I'm here. That's what's important.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't want to worry about the Rays, no matter
No.
how important the game is.
Just glad there's no Red Sox fans in here. Or is there?
Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started. It's a few minutes after 3, so you might have a few people hop in and join us, but want to be respectful of everybody's time and know they got games to watch and things to do. So, so thank you all for joining us this afternoon. I know we pivoted a little bit. We intended to meet in person, but there were some scheduling issues. But hopefully next month in November, we might be able to meet at USF. I was talking with Officer Marchesano earlier this week, and she's working on reserving the roll call room of the USF PD station, and should be able to put some cones to block off parking. So fingers crossed we can see each other in person at that time. But appreciate y'all being flexible and joining us virtually this afternoon. So we'll just get started with some brief introductions. So my name is Kathleen Koviak. I'm the chair of our Tampa Bay Area University Community Traffic Safety Team, and I work at the University of South Florida and oversee all of our substance use prevention programming. And I will turn it over to Katie, and then we can call on folks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Godwin. I am your vice chair. I work at the University of Tampa doing all things emergency operations, safety, general campus safety things. So that's what I get to do.
And we have Brenton.
We didn't hear you, Brenton.
Brenton? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know if you were.
Brenton Mosier, USF Cutter.
Thank you. Anthony?
Hey, Anthony Schmont, safety consultant with JMT.
Ellen?
Ellen Snelling with Hillsborough County Anti-Drug Alliance and Tampa Alcohol Coalition.
George?
Hey, good afternoon. George Edmiston with Benish. I'm also a District 7 safety consultant.
And Jason,
Jason Jackman, Cutter at USF.
Zena,
Zena Rodell, Hillsborough County Anti-Drug Alliance and USF.
Lori,
Lori Paleo, JMT, traffic engineer.
Eric,
Hey everybody, Eric Henry, FDOT District 7, CTST Program Manager.
and Melissa.
Everybody, I'm Melissa Shepard with JMT, FDOT District 7 Safety Consultant. And just to let everybody know, the meeting is being recorded. And if you are not speaking, please mute your mics.
Thank you so much. Oh, and then we just had Officer Marchesano join us. We were just doing introductions. So would you like to do a brief introduction, Officer Marchesano?
Officer Marchesano and Bailey, USFPD.
Welcome. Thanks for joining. So I think I got everybody. We'll go ahead and review our September meeting minutes. So if you had a chance to look at those from the email, or Melissa's pulling them up on the screen right now. So feel free to read through those and let us know if anything needs to be updated or if we would like to approve them.
This is Ellen. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
And George, I'll
Ellen.
second.
Excellent. Thank you both. So our minutes are approved and we can dive into our business updates, problem identifications, and follow up. So I know we just have a couple areas that we're still keeping an eye on. One being the Lois Avenue crossing to get to HCC. I'm not sure if anybody on our call is able to provide any new information on that. If so, let us know. Okay, so no update there this time. And then we have the lights that I know are were under review last time. Any further word on whether those are getting?
Those lights the traffic signals are on.
And are they operable?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
It's interesting because the second one southbound is a U-turn with a flashing yellow arrow.
Right.
I haven't been there at night, so I don't know what the street lighting level's like.
No, the street lighting still sucks. I mean, sorry, is that tactical to say that? It still stinks. My bad.
Move to strike that from the minutes.
Put an
Gotta be
unhappy
important.
face if you want.
So we're still waiting on the street lights to be fixed, but the traffic signals are good. Okay.
Yeah.
So still needs some better, especially as now it's going to be starting to get darker earlier. So we want that to be well lit. So we'll keep holding our breath, I guess. For the next one, these, I think that we can resolve this one or mark it as resolved. Everything is up and running on that street on Bruce B. Downs by IQ and in that area. Last time I was in that area, and all the crosswalks seem to be operable. If anyone doesn't think so, let me know. But I think that it hopefully is good. Officer Marchesano, have you had any issues with that area?
I mean, other than the typical accidents that happen during the busiest times of the day, which continue to happen, but I'm not blaming that on lighting, so. Not blaming that on lighting.
So yeah, it looks like the county got all of those running. So hopefully it's a matter of making sure students use them and people that are getting across the street there.
So we want to mark that as removed, or we want to remove it next meeting from the minutes, or we want to keep it on there?
I'm okay with removing it unless anybody wants to monitor it more. Sounds good to remove then.
Okay, we'll do.
And then, Katie, do you have any updates on the Kennedy Boulevard, Willow Avenue, and Delaware Avenue?
Yes, we received a notice from the city's like PR team, essentially, that they have commissioned a project to replace all of the water mains underneath Kennedy Boulevard, the north side of it. So that'll impact westward traffic from basically the eastern edge of Plant Park, which is by the river, all the way down towards West Shore. We have been told that that will start in the middle of October and it will extend through the end of 2024. We're not sure what that looks like in terms of impact to our traffic or to our campus. They also didn't state, and I think this is the part that is explicit here, we don't know if that will include storm drains or stormwater inlets, which that if you haven't ever driven down Kennedy when it rains, it is a puddle almost immediately. So it adds some safety complications for students walking on the sidewalk or bicyclists or even just vehicles in general. So we're hoping that we can have some conversations to figure out if stormwater inlets are a possibility while they're ripping up the road. But so we're going to have a lot of construction in and around our area for the foreseeable future.
Thanks, Katie. Hopefully that the impact isn't too extensive.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll see.
Yeah. Sure, that's one word for it. And then I think that's all that we have on our list. Anything new that's come up that people would like to identify as a problem area? All right, then we'll keep our tabs on those 3 items now and proceed. So now we'll get into our reportings and calendar updates. So start with law enforcement. Any activity, Officer Marchesano, that you want to share?
So honestly, I think so today at the bull market, just to bring it up. So every Wednesday is the bull market, as you know. And today I actually got help from my squad, which was fantastic. And we have increased and got the word out on bicycle registrations. So for the University of South Florida, we used to go in conjunction with the transportation. So anytime you got a decal for your vehicle, they'd be like, do you have a bike? Awesome. And gave you an extra decal, and that would be that. The problem was organization and retention. two things that fell apart because they kind of triaged what they had to do. I don't know if it's in conjunction with tickets or what, I have no idea. But we decided a couple of years ago to take that over. The problem was, at the time, we had to mimic what the transportation and parking had to do. So I wasn't getting anywhere with that, and I needed to promote it and have my own program in order to get it run and then get the word out that about bicycles. And because we were already handing out pamphlets about where to ride your bikes on campus and how to keep safe. And a lot of students didn't know they weren't allowed to wear headsets. They still wear headsets. Same thing on e-scooters, which is our new thing. So now we've got brand new, show them reflective stickers and identifying, just to let people know who your students, faculty, and staff are on campus. So if any of you guys have any ideas or want a copy, that actually says USFPD. It's got our telephone number on, our email address, and there's no way that you don't know that somebody from the University of South Florida, whether it be a student, faculty, or staff member, this is them. This is what they have. This is their identifier. So if we see somebody cutting a lock on a bike, we feel like that they're not somebody that maybe owns that bike. That's part of our theft deterrent, but it also educates the public too, because you're not getting one of these without me throwing statistics on you about what's the most stolen thing on campus and how safety works both on and off campus. So that's been our new thing, and it's been a Cinderella story and very successful. So if any of you need ideas like UT or anything like that, you let me know, and I will get you in touch with the program that I use.
I have a question about that. So if we have previously registered with a PAT sticker, should we get a new sticker?
Ask that question again, because I didn't get any of that.
If we previously registered at PATS and we had a PAT sticker, do we need a new sticker?
So, Pat, apparently, according to about 6 months ago, we've asked PATS to disassemble or delete. I have no idea what they did with it. So the quick answer to that would be yes. That's not to say that the sticker itself is not a deterrent, but if you have your bike lost or stolen, I don't have access to them and they don't have access anymore. So I would encourage you to come by, find me, or just go to the station and ask for your bike to be registered. And it doesn't matter if it's registered by me now or any one of our lovely CSOs, and we'll get it registered for you, just like that. I've got more information on it because you don't only have to register your bike. You can register anything that means anything to you that has a serial number, boom, and it attaches itself there. And that's like peace of mind, perfecto.
I'll come find you.
That sounds great. Yeah, we'll help spread the word on that. So they have to physically come to see one of you all to get those. Okay. That sounds good.
All right. It makes it a lot easier to do it in person. Plus, if I see your bicycle, we have the program now where either on my phone or on the tablet, I'm taking a picture of it, because when I go to ask you what your bike that your grandmother's friend's uncle's friend gave you, and you just say it's a bike, now I have a picture of it. So you could still say that it belongs to your sister's, uncle's, cousin's, whatever, but now I know what it looks like because I took a picture of it. So.
You mentioned that anything with a serial number can be registered. Do you also encourage people to register their scooters and like e-bikes and those things as well?
So now, believe it or not, in thefts, the bicycle is being surpassed by the e-scooter itself. One, because now students and faculty and staff are forced to park it outside because of the whole fire hazard, which I understand. And I'm still in the works with coming up with a program where that there are stations on campus. The problem is everyone wants to know who's funding it. And I am just the idea girl. So I literally will throw the idea of where they could go, how they can build it, and say, now, unless you want me to wash cars and get money, that's the only thing that's left on the table. So I've sent the idea out already. But yes, e-scooters in the grand scheme of things have surpassed bicycles and theft. So yeah, we registered the living daylights out of e-scooters. And the thing about the e-scooters is most of these students, once they download the app to their phone, it's really easy access to get the serial number that's on here. So
Okay. Because we have everybody registered. Well, it's not mandatory, but we have a bicycle registration process. We've had that in place for a couple of years, but we are trying to become a little bit more friendly towards e-scooters within a reasonable structure.
Yeah.
Again, to the point of like parking them outside, making sure that they're not a nuisance, they clutter up our sidewalks, all that good stuff. I know that maintaining their attachment to their owner is a major concern, and so I had not considered having them register in the same process, but that's a really cool idea. Thank you.
And honestly, if you can create, so I created that decal because like I said, it used to be where we would have this teeny tiny decal. And if I have my nighttime bike or officers at night going to look for people who may not be your bike and give me a reason to stop the bike. You're riding the wrong way. You're riding without lights on your bike at night. You have your headphones on. You're talking on the phone. You're not walking in just the 14 subsections of the bike laws that gives you reason enough to pull somebody over. Plus you see one of these bad boys. When you see just this, you're going to be like, man, maybe I won't pull them over. But you see this with this on there, and it specifically identifies University of South Florida, and it actually says police department. This gives me reason enough to be like, I know that dude, because you have the same suspects that we do, because they just like going in and out and finding really easy bikes to steal or e-scooters to steal. So we're encouraging e-scooters to join the program too. And it's people, once they hear word of it, or their mom or dad hears word of it, like say during orientation, they force these kids to go, and it's been a blessing. So.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you.
I have a question about the e-scooters, like kind of safety issues. I know you've brought it up before that they're they're having some safety problems as far as maybe going out in front of people. So today I was on campus a couple of times and I noticed that, I mean, you expect a pedestrian in a crosswalk and there's a certain amount of time that would take for them to cross, if you know what I mean. But those e-scooters, they seem like a couple today, they're going like pretty good clip and they just go, like right across. And I know they were in crosswalks, but I just wondered if that's more and more of an issue, or what, are they supposed to look both ways or just
No,
zoom?
actually, just like in the Florida state statute for bicycles, if you are legally crossing the street, it doesn't matter if it's in a crosswalk or not, you are supposed to get the hell off your bike. Sorry. I almost ran over one today and I literally rolled down the window and I told you the power I have on the PA system, like, we got somebody who's not a thinker today, or something. I will do something. I'll draw attention. I don't care because I like to educate. And then if you want to try me, we'll go past education and then we'll go for citations. I don't really care. But the first and forefront, I'll lay that foundation of education any day of the week. And a lot of people make poor decisions because they're doing this or they got someplace to be and they're not thinking. So with these e-scooters, same situation. They're actually supposed to get off the scooter, just like they're supposed to get off the bike in a crosswalk, walk it across, get back on and go. You don't see any of that. And whether that's not we're in a especially with our law enforcement officers or our new ones, it's really just about educating. But I'm only one person, and during orientation, I can only say so much, and the only people it gets through is their parents. So what we have to start doing is we have to start educating them, and then you'll start seeing less and less of this happen on campus. So a lot of them don't know, but a lot of them don't care. But that is the law. They are required to get, just like bicycles, get off the bike, walk it across. Same thing with scooters. Just so you know, food for thought.
Thank you so much. Great questions and discussion. Anything else from the law enforcement end? I think Nicole might be the only law enforcement folk on here.
I will answer any question you ask. I'm still working on the bike lanes, by the way. I have somebody from OPM that is jumping on my bandwagon. So hopefully that'll be started either late this year or early next year. Well, Britton's with me on that one. Come on. Who wants to help me draw lines on campus? Yay.
I would love to. That sounds fun. Be a good break in the day. We'll get some students to help too.
So on that subject,
yeah.
As part of the capital improvements project, it says that they are redoing Leroy Collins. I think, yes. I just wanted to make sure like the bike lanes are properly re-put in when they repave that road.
So anything that they, this is what I was told. Anything that they change, anything they take away, of course, athletics says the same thing, and then they do what they want. But let me just talk about the roadways. Anything that they change or update, they will replenish with what is already there. If there was a bike lane and a distinguished bike lane that was already there, they are going to replenish that, or they're going to change that, or update that, or make sure that it's there.
Kathleen, I just wanted to add, TPD isn't on today, right? I don't know. So I wanted to
No.
tell you, so we had Corporal White, who became a sergeant, he's no longer on. So Corporal Jacob Gonzalez came to the the Community Traffic Safety Team IDEA meeting yesterday. So I can send you his email, and because I'm not sure if he knew about the meeting today, and I'm sure he'll be glad to start getting on. And I wanted to mention, as far as fatal crashes, there was one that I know about that was on Fowler, like in the University Mall area, maybe about a week ago, motorcycle. I think maybe a pickup truck, I'm not sure, but I know the motorcyclist was killed, and it wasn't too far from campus. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I don't know anything else about the motorcycle rider, who it was. I doubt it was a student, but it was around 7 o'clock in the evening about a week ago or so.
So if it was a student, we get a phone call about that, because we usually send notifications out and assist with notifications, and then it gets, yeah, so I haven't seen anything.
I didn't think it was. Mhm.
Thanks, Helen. Yeah, I'm happy to have Corporal Gonzalez join, because I know Officer White was usually here, so we'll try to loop someone back in to get those updates. And
If
then,
you guys,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want him added to the meeting, if you can just shoot me his email, and I can get him routed in the e-blast with the other, people that I invite as well. You can put it in the chat, Ellen, if you want to.
Excellent. And then I know we talked some about bicycle safety and things, but any other bicycle and pedestrian updates or reports?
Yeah, I have a couple things. So we have done some outreach since the beginning of the year. We were at the Into USF, which is the international students. They have a traffic safety fair, and I know that Corporal Pollock from USFPD was also there, so we did some education there. And we also did education at the USF College of Public Health Give Life Day, which is, they have like a big blood drive and bone marrow registry, but we also do some bike ped education there. So thank you for the bike club for going and handling that one. And we have just wrapped up the geofencing that we launched at the beginning of the school year. And I am working on those results, and I'll review Katie's results with her, and then maybe I'll send them to Mike for approval, and then maybe we can discuss those at the next meeting.
That sounds great. Thank you, Benton. Any other biker pedestrian news or updates?
May I have a question? We have some covered bike cages in some of our garages on campus, and one of them has only vertical storage options. Do you have vertical storage in your spaces? And if so, is it widely used? Do people know how to use it? Because we are finding that there is nobody there.
You mean where you put the bike upright?
Yes.
We do not have that at USF, to my knowledge.
Okay.
We only have regular racks, and then we have a couple of lockers, but nothing vertical.
Okay. We are finding that either our space is just not geographically located near to where people are riding, which is absolutely totally fine because it's on the edge of campus. But we're also just curious if they don't know how to use that, which is possible.
We put together a little TikTok video, Katie, to show the students.
Yeah.
YouTube tutorial.
Yes, I have a student who is really enthusiastic and she's putting together a student organization dedicated to sustainability and bicycling kind of combo together. Those are her passion areas. And she wants to do some like know your bike videos, which I fully support, find your serial number, all that crap. But this is an area where I think she could be really helpful in teaching them like, where are the bike cages? How does one do this? And she's young and people like her, so she'll be great.
And that's how you
Awesome. I love
market
that.
right there.
Yes. Yeah. Give them the peers because they don't care about us old people.
I know, sad but true. All right, we can, speaking of peers, we will hand it over to Jason to give a little presentation about the peer-to-peer campaign. So happy to have you to share that with us. So the floor is yours whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll turn my camera off just so I can share my screen too. And I'll have to find the presentation. Here we go. Let me see, slideshow. All right. Great. Can you see the little screen at the bottom with the Teams meeting or no? I never know. It's right now it's showing.
It's just your side. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Jason Jackman. I'm with the Center for Urban Transportation Research. I'm going to present on the peer-to-peer program. This is a program funded by the Florida Department of Transportation. We were in our third year, just ended, heading into our fourth year of the program, believe it or not. If you get a chance, go ahead and scan the Scan Me sign, and it'll take you to a questionnaire that we send to all the students that participate, that are involved. Again, this is such a great program because it's not just focused on with one university. It's actually 6, and this year we had the opportunity to go 6 and work with a few other universities, but we mainly focus on the main 4 that we've been working with, just because they've been some great partners. So each year it gets a little interchangeable with the other universities we're working with. So, and I'll get into that. I've also been the faculty advisor for the Bicycle Club since 2010. Revolving door with presidents, vice presidents, treasurers, as student organizations and clubs usually are. Sometimes we have students who are really involved at the club and not so involved, but they're key partners to the program, especially at the University of South Florida with the peer-to-peer. And then we kind of use that strategy with other universities, and I'll talk a minute about that. But universities themselves are mini cities. We talked about micromobility, pedestrian safety, bike safety. I mean, it's basically a mini city with a lot of pedestrians, a lot of drivers. So this is such an important program when it comes to pedestrian and bicycle safety, and it's an education program. It's not really an engineering program, although we do educate on sometimes the infrastructure that's installed. We like to let students know the new infrastructure that's taking place on and around their campus. So that's something that we do include, some education on the infrastructure. I mentioned the 6 universities. We've worked with actually more than 6, but for the most part, 6 is as far as we go each year with working with universities in Florida. We provide trainings to safety ambassadors, students, and some of them become our presenters. Some of them take the lead on that. And that's kind of the key objective of this, is just training as many students as possible, getting the students to teach each other, the peer-to-peer, obviously. Another objective is reaching students on and off campus. So we're always trying to talk to students, talk to organizations, get students more involved in safety. We measure safety knowledge and that baseline knowledge with our online questionnaire. We found it was very important to have this questionnaire, especially during the pandemic when we started. So we were like, okay, how are we going to reach these students online? And we felt like the online questionnaire was a great way to go. And we stuck with it, but we have other opportunities for education besides just going online. And then we do business sweeps. We talk to businesses on campus. A lot of them are, you have students that are working on campus and off campus. So we like to share information with those students and the businesses. Here are the universities that we've worked with in the past 3 years. Again, it's key to note that 4 is a good number to work with in 1 year so far. It just depends on their involvement and if you can find a student to really take the lead and champion the program. And so we look for those students when the program begins. And actually, we're looking right now again as the program is about to begin. So we find those champions on each campus, and we just train them and give them the tools to succeed. And then the motivation too. The idea is that they're becoming pedestrian and bicycle safety experts. We want them to share the information, the important information on the safety laws, infrastructure, and advocacy on their campus for safety. And each year has been different. It's really been interesting to really step back and say, well, this university did this, that's different from the other university. How can we apply that to some of these newer schools that we're working with? And again, when I say working with other universities, imagine really trying to build a strong program, let's say in Tallahassee when you're in Tampa. So it takes a strong communicator, it takes a student champion to really stay involved. And that's not so easy when you have a student going to school, work. So it's really getting them involved and motivated and giving them a timeline too, and somehow passing it on to the next student each year. We do the education and training, the virtual training. We felt that was a good attribute to the program when we were, our goal was to go in person and talk to the students and provide a training, but the virtual training was another asset that we had towards the program, which I felt was important. And I feel that it's important here right now. We are virtual, and I think we had this discussion before the meeting. It's hey, we can't be 5 places at once. We can talk right now. And I think the students appreciate that too, where they can just jump on the call, learn something, find some events that are happening, and see how they can get involved. We have online surveys. We have pledge cards. Those pledge cards are from the Florida Department of Transportation, so those have been very useful in building a dialogue and discussion, especially at events, as you can see in the photo. Found different networking and experiences on campus. One thing I tell the students is, hey, get out there, find the events. You have the Rec the Night Fest at the Recreation Center at USF. You had the ITE Student Chapter event at FIU, Florida International University. So many different experiences, and again, each year is different. We also have a communications package. We felt like if they are going to really talk to other students, reach out to other students, if they have a social media platform, let's create a communications package for them. Let's create the messaging so it's, they don't have to recreate the wheel. They don't have to figure it out for themselves. I mean, time is very valuable to them, so we want to make it easy. So here's some messaging, here's some images you can use. You can change it if you'd like, you can custom make it, but just here it is. And here's some dates that are important for pedestrian and bicycle safety, so feel free to share. And that makes it a lot easier when everybody's on the same page. And when you're evaluating a program like this, it makes it important to see what all the hits and misses too, like any other education program. Our online questionnaire, this is just a sample of how we look at, all right, who's really participating with the online questionnaire. And it varies. It's not just about the questionnaire. We have the safety pledges too that we do. So that's part of the evaluation. And here's a photo of one of our trainings that our student had done in the past. And again, we have students that are in clubs. We have student governments that are involved from different universities. So just because it's a USF meeting doesn't mean other universities can't attend either. So we try to get that reach and get people involved and really pass on the ambassadorship, say, hey, now you can talk to your students, you can get involved. We look at this as volunteer hours. We can offer those volunteer hours to students at other universities, and a lot of department students are with departments and going through a program need those hours. The education level and reach, I mean, anywhere from freshmen to seniors, graduate, doctoral, faculty, and staff. We try to reach everyone who is on the campus. So we have record on all that. I'm sorry about that small pie graph. So some of the results we found in the past, and these are just from some questions from a pre and post online. So if a student completed an online questionnaire, we sent them a post questionnaire at least 2 weeks later. Sometimes it was a little longer. And these are some of the questions they responded to. If you did the QR code, these are pretty much the same questions. We try to tweak the questions each year based on some feedback, but for the most part, they've been the same for the past 3 years. And like for this question, bicyclists are required to have only a front white light when riding at night. Overall, 27% got it. There was a 27% increase from the pre and post overall. And then we found that freshmen actually 74% got this correct when just looking at the grade level. The next question, drivers must give bicyclists a minimum of 3 feet when passing from behind. Again, overall, 39% increase from the pre to the post. And as you can see, the doctoral students, juniors, and seniors, there was a strong increase with each grade level. And then finally, pedestrians can legally cross at signalized crosswalks without activating the pedestrian walk signal. So there was overall a 27% increase. So we just look at those wins. And again, not every question is a win, but we try to, if it's not a win, we try to focus on how we can improve our strategy for outreach. Again, if we had all the answers, and this would be easy, but it's not. We really have to, change and pivot and find ways to change our education strategies so we can get that strong return on the pre and post questionnaire. Our in-person, again, it's in person or virtual with the presentations. I think one virtual presentation, we had somewhere between 30, 35 in one class. I mean, we average, it depends on the organization, the student organization or the club, but we average around 12 to 15 students per class. But again, 30 to 35 is really nice to have that one time. Those in person, we don't just rely on virtual. We have students go and present to their departments. We ask them to ask professors, hey, can you go talk to your class, talk to your, whichever class you can. Sometimes if it's regarding the, College of Public Health, College of Engineering, the planning department, within USF or any other university, we ask them, hey, you can go present this to a class, say it's 10 minutes, it's a quick presentation, any opportunity to go talk to students. It's just one more opportunity to reach one more person. This is Leomar. He's our past president for the Bicycle Club. He did a fantastic job for the past 2 years. We do have another student, a new student, Katerina Portelos, just as motivated, just ready to go. She's super happy that she can be a part of the bike club, but also be a part of peer-to-peer, doing different events. I'm going to have her get trained as a helmet fitter as well as the other students involved with the bike club. And then I'm going to try to set up bike helmet fitting trainings at other university as well around the state. So very happy to have Katerina on board, and she's already planned like 4 or 5 bicycle events within the past 2 months. So she's really doing a fantastic job. Some of our communications plans, as I mentioned, we try to provide messaging, images, anything we can. Also, it's repeated messaging. So if you saw this on the questionnaire, you're going to see it on social media. You're going to see it in different areas. We're going to try to be consistent with it, not really change the messaging, but just be consistent, and maybe they'll see it more often. That's something we haven't done to evaluate the program, especially like have they seen the messaging other places. We might do some opportunities within the Bull Runner and other transit at other universities. So we're excited about this year to kind of do something a little different and at the same time continue what we're doing. Oh, and here's the digital shorts. So you have your highs and lows with the program. actually, let me stop sharing and I'll reshare it because I know you have to do the sound thing. I only have a few more slides too. I don't need to take all of your time. Here, hold on. Include computer sound, of course. Okay, so the highs and lows of this program, it's definitely seasonal. You have students that are in the fall. You got to capture their attention in the fall when they first get to campus. Then the exams hit, and then you lose all their attention, and then they come back, and then December or November hits, Thanksgiving, and you may have lost them until the new year. So there's different pockets to reach students. We definitely captured that part as far as when to reach students, because you're not reaching anybody from December to January. It's very difficult to find them. They leave campus, and then they come back in the spring, early winter or whatever. It's not winter in Florida, but January, February. You have March bicycle month, and then you lose them again for exams. And then it's summer, and nobody's on campus in summer. Very hard to do any kind of outreach on campus when nobody's here. So we decided this summer, like, hey, listen, let's do some digital safety shorts. Let's kind of put some messaging out there that's not too long and not too detailed, just really simple, short, and we got the idea of, like, obviously social media like TikTok and other things like that. The attention span is definitely shorter these days, and we just wanted to capture and do something cool like this. So I'm gonna play Leomar's message, and then he asked the students, question, and they answered, and they got a prize. And I think they didn't give prizes if you got it wrong, so they were pretty strict about it. Here it is.
All right, so what's your name?
My name is Reggie.
All right, Reggie. So true or false? Drivers must yield to the pedestrians in the crosswalk.
That's true.
True? You're correct. All right, pick your color.
My favorite color is green. I'll take this one.
Awesome.
Favorite color is green. Okay. And here's the other one. This is Kaylee. She was the other student working on the project.
True or false? Bicyclists can only have a red, white light when riding at night.
False.
Yes, they need both a white and then a red light when riding at night.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did a few other questions. We also did a little bike maintenance and how to maintain your bike. Again, I think if it's more than 15 to 20 seconds, and this is my opinion, you might lose the students. But you never know. You could do longer safety presentations or safety interviews. And then we posted these through social media. They got a lot of traction. We posted on YouTube. We posted on Facebook and Instagram. Got a lot of traction with these, and we found, I think a couple weeks after this, we found that some of the other departments were doing something similar. And the only reason I say that is because they were about 10 seconds to 15 seconds long, and it was in kind of this format. So, hey, to each his own. I hope other people can do something like this, and I'm not saying they took the idea from us, but hey, great. I feel like it's one more person that has safety information and one more idea out there that we can all use.
All right, so what's your name?
All right, so again, social media posts, so important, working with not only university communications departments, which we have done, but also student government communication groups, which have a really not as large as the entire university. It's a smaller group that follows student government, but these are the student leaders at universities, student government. So, we found that having them as a partner at each university has been very valuable. Part of the communications, we do give the link for them to share for our survey or questionnaire online as part of the communication content too. So we don't just say, hey, here's a post. We say, hey, here's a post and here's a questionnaire. Let's test your knowledge. And then we have the images to share. We kind of make the colors consistent with the universities. I think that's important. And that was actually something the students had mentioned that they wanted at the other universities. This is FIU. And these are date specific. So if you have a communications package that you can just share that's very consistent, then have special dates where every university is sharing on the same date. And if they agree to that and they don't want to, that's great. If they want to change it, that's fine too. Provide some hashtags. We didn't use any of these hashtags. So again, that's something they can change. And then we have digital print. We have opportunities to print for them, for the universities, whether it's going on their university transit, something they want to put in their office or, around campus. So we offer that digital print for limited supply, obviously, but anything else after that supply, they can do themselves, but we offer the graphics. And these are some of the questions you've seen. So it's, again, getting that consistent messaging. This past year and the year before, we did yard signs. Actually at USF, they just installed the yard signs this week, or they are installing them like today or tomorrow. So we're going to go take some photos and see what that's all about. But it provides a QR code to the questionnaire. And again, being consistent with the messaging and all the partners. This one's FIU ITE student chapter. I mentioned the canvassing and business sweeps. We went around and talked to the businesses, as I mentioned. This is one of the students from UCF. She was, and this is very important as far as maybe the university CTST is, she was the transportation officer for student government. The only university that has a transportation officer for student government. And I know this because I'm working with each of the student governments and they don't have them. And I encourage them to have an officer like this to be in charge of not only micromobility on campus and transit, but also safety, pedestrian and bicycle safety. So I'm right now talking with USF student government, trying to encourage them to get an officer position similar to this, especially in Tampa, especially at USF. And it would be very beneficial, not only for the Tampa campus, but the St. Pete and the Manatee Sarasota. So doing business sweeps and working with UCF has been a great opportunity aside from everything else. We did business sweeps at FIU just recently, and that was fun, very rainy, but we still did it. And I found out that they had a lot of coverings along the businesses, so we were able to do the sweeps while it was pouring down rain. And that's all I have. Again, I want to thank you all for having me. I think it's been a really fantastic program. We're only getting started. Even though it's been 3 years, we kind of figured it out. I know there's a lot of other education going on campus, and you all are doing your thing with the other campuses and USF, but we're always here, and I'm always here to help. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a really great program. I'm glad to learn more about that. Any questions for Jason? All right, well, thank you again. I really appreciate that. Then we'll quickly go over our fatal crash map for this month. Lori, anything you'd like to share or want to walk us through?
Yes. So from January 1st to July 16th, there have been 7 fatal crashes. The map shows 8 fatal crashes because it is inside 2 campus buffers. So one of the fatal crashes is in both of the buffers. At the last CTST from January 1st to June 22nd, there were 5 fatal crashes. So there's been 2 new fatal crashes added to the CTST map. Those fatal crashes, one of them were within the 1 mile buffer of HCC Brandon, and that was a head-on fatal crash. And the other one was HCC Ybor, which was a pedestrian fatal crash, both within the 1 mile buffers. The head-on fatal crash was on the exit ramp from southbound I-75 and State Road 574. It was not at the intersection in the daytime. The vehicle 1 was traveling eastbound in the westbound lanes on State Road 574, and vehicle 1 made a left turn traveling north onto the southbound exit ramp on I-75. And as a result, vehicle 1 struck the front of vehicle 2, and the driver of vehicle 1 was not wearing a seatbelt. The pedestrian fatal crash was on Adamo Drive and 14th Street, not at the intersection. In day conditions, the pedestrian was walking eastbound in the westbound lane in the middle of the road. Vehicle 1 was traveling westbound on Adamo Drive, approaching 14th Street North, and the pedestrian appeared to be spitting at another vehicle while in the road. And when the driver of vehicle 1 changed lanes, the pedestrian was struck. There are currently 7 fatal crashes, and at the same time last year there were 4 fatal crashes. So we're up by 3 since the same time frame last year from January to July 16. And that's what I got.
Thanks, Lori. Appreciate you sharing that information. Any questions regarding the map? All right. Well, the last few minutes, we can just open the floor up if anybody would like to share anything that they've got going on or any announcements. I know October is Pedestrian Safety Month, so so definitely good to highlight some of these things.
So, do we have we invited anyone from the county to be on these calls that we know of?
That's a good question. I have to look at our list. I don't know. Melissa, do you know if anybody on the list is from the county?
I don't believe from the county. We have invited folks from the city.
Okay.
But I don't know from the county. We always could, for sure.
One, I wish someone was here because I would have liked to give a shout out because there was a portion of sidewalk along 50th Street that was sort of uprooted by a tree root or something, and it kind of formed a little tent almost. And a few months ago, I saw kids using it as a skateboard ramp, and they have since repaired it. But also, they're doing a project at 50th Street and Fletcher intersection, and I just posted the project link in the chat where they are going to add turn lanes at the end, and I believe they're doing some improvements around Holly as well. I know initially they had talked about putting a roundabout in that area, but then that was not part of the final design plan, so that'll be something to watch going forward.
Thanks, Brenton. Anyone else have any updates to share? Oh, Brenton, I see your lips moving. I don't know if that.
We're having Walk with the Temple Terrace Mayor on Saturday, May 4th. If anyone would like to join us, the city is making a Facebook event page, and then I'll have Eric and Melissa send that around when that is finalized. Sorry, November 4th. Thank you, Officer Marchesano. Saturday, November 4th. I think that is before our next meeting, so I wanted to get that in. No, our next meeting is November 1st, so I'll remind you then.
Excellent. Thank you. That sounds fun. Yeah, I was going to say you were planning that pretty far in advance if you already knew your May schedule. For our office, we stay busy in October. We're trying to promote a Sober October initiative, encouraging students to either take a break from substances or cut back, knowing that we've got events such as homecoming coming up next week. So all of the homecoming events will take place. There's like the concert and the carnival and things towards the end of next week, and the football game next Saturday, the 14th. And then we do National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week that third week in October. So that starts the 16th. And then we've got some other mental health and stress reduction initiatives going on for midterms as well. So promoting kind of healthy coping strategies and some other fun activities that the students can do, especially for Halloween as well. So we do some Halloween safety programming and partner with some other orgs to do that. So we've got UPD and MAD and hopefully some other folks coming to some of our programs. So appreciate the partnership as we gear up for those. And then we've got 1 minute left. So anybody else have any final things to share?
You guys know, I've already saved the room for, if you want to still have it here in this lovely room that I'm in right now. I saved the room for November 1st at 3 p.m.
Thank you, Councilmember Capano. Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. So if everybody is available at this time next month on November 1st, we'll try to have that be our in-person meeting. And sounds like we got a space reserved, so we'll send out the address and directions, and Nicole's going to try to cone off some parking spots for us as well. So we'll look forward to seeing everybody in person next month. Looking forward to that. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jason, for your presentation, and know the importance of involving students in this work as well on our campuses. So thank you so much, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your days, and feel free to reach out if anything else comes up in the meantime.
Thank you all. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.